Good evening, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 138. And right now, I am closing in on this casino. This is part 2 of my 2-day trip. We cut it short because it was, by the time I get out of this casino, it's going to be the next day. The other episode was getting long, so blah, blah, blah. Here we are. Right now, I've been driving for 2 hours since the last casino, and I am only 1 mile away from the next one. I plan on playing slots, possibly some blackjack, possibly some poker, and we're going to see how things go here. Last time I was here, I was pleasantly surprised by the amount of games to play, both machines and blackjack. These guys went from like 3 or 4 blackjack tables to over 20. Now, most of them are going to be closed, and they're only going to be open on weekend nights and things like that. But it's good to know that there's potential, that there's enough people living around in this area that they could have that kind of volume in the casino. So, with all that being said, right now, going in there with about 15,000 steps, still have, it'll probably be over 16 or 17,000 steps, 16,000 for the day, and I'll come back and let you know what happens. Alright guys, I am back. So I played slots first, really found very little. This is a big place and there was a lot of people, but just couldn't find any plays. And then looked around for some blackjack to play and couldn't find any blackjack either. So it was pretty tough trying to find a way to make money. And so I decided to go play some poker and let things kind of slow down and let some other people who may be doing what I'm doing leave. And I came back and I looked around. I found a few more things. And then I found one table open for blackjack. I mean, not even open. I mean, it had 2 other people on it, but I'd never played a single deck blackjack before. And I wanted that experience. So I sat down and played there until the table closed, which wasn't very long. Oh, that's weird. Anyway, I ended up ahead $89 on the slots. I ended up ahead only $75 on the blackjack, and I ended up ahead on the 1-2 no limit, which I played for about an hour, and I had some food, some snacks, some drinks. All of that is free, so had that and ended up ahead 75 on that. So overall, not the greatest, but at least we didn't lose any money. So now I am about to do something I've never done before. I'm about to go to a casino. Let me make sure it's muted here. Yeah, we don't need everybody to know where I'm going. I'm about to go to a casino that I've never been to before. In fact, I don't even know the name of it. I'm going to have to look it up here in a second. But it's not too far away. Now, it's in a direction away from other casinos, so it's going to be the furthest point that I go on my journey. But I thought it would be a good idea because it's not a huge place, but it is different. It's a place I've never been, and I've been all over this state in the past, and basically on the other side of the state, because there's nothing on the side of the state where that one is. So I'm going to go there, although it is not big. We're going to go play over there. And right now, just to give you an idea, when I left home, it was around 68 or 70 degrees, and it's remained around there the whole time. So I think the highest I got was maybe 72 degrees. And now the road that I need to go to is closed. Okay, similar ETA. We'll go this way. I don't know what I was saying, but oh, the temperature. And right now, it's about 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's still about the same temperature. It's 65. So once I get moving here out in the middle of nowhere, it may go down a little bit further. But I did post about a 30-second video on YouTube just showing where I am, how I'm in the middle of nowhere, and all you see is a few trees here and there and a few houses here and there. All the highways are 2 lanes. They're 55 miles an hour. But you know what? It's fun. So right now I am almost out of gas. I can make it to my next stop, and hopefully there'll be some gas stations around there and it won't be too expensive. I also think that this place that I'm going to is a resort area possibly, so I'm going to do that research while I'm driving here. But yeah, everything's good, and didn't make a lot of money, but did okay, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I'm back. So I go to this place and it is pretty tiny. It has decent machines. You can make some money there, but I think it's already all been cleaned out. I did find one tiny play and played that and ended the session ahead. $8, but was it worth the hour whatever drive? I don't know. It was interesting and it's different, and I got to see a lot of the country that I've never been to before, so that was okay. And I'm not upset that I only made $8, but you know, it's kind of cool to go somewhere you've never been before and just walk in the middle of the night and take money with you and leave. So, I mean, I know that sounds weird, but imagine just getting up in the middle of the night and getting in your car, go a few miles, pick up a few bucks, and come back home. And so there's some interesting little sites around here. Alright, I'm back. Okay, so how many people do you know at almost 4 o'clock in the morning are still getting phone calls that aren't like drug dealers? You know what I mean? It's like, give me a break, man. But he knew that I was out working tonight, so he wanted to check in on me and make sure everything was okay. And he's actually in his home city, heading home right now from his casinos. So, but he only lives about 15 minutes away, and I live, whatever, 3 hours minimum away. So, okay, so right now I'm heading to a gas station. It's about 12 miles away. I've got 28 miles range. Only one downside is, out here, a lot of the gas stations are closed, so we gotta hope that that gas station is open. If it's not open, then from there I gotta look for another one nearby, and hopefully that one's open, or I'll have to wait until whatever, 6, 7, 8 o'clock until they open to get gas. But I really didn't have too many other opportunities to get the gas. So and then we're gonna head 2 hours to the next city, where we're gonna have a lot more opportunity to play and make some money, and hopefully we can make like 1,500 more this morning, and then we'll figure out what to do from there. So I do have a meeting in about 4.5 hours, almost 5 hours, at 8:45, and then I do have my work to do that I'm supposed to have done by morning. So once I get gas and I know everything is okay, then I'll start doing my work and then go from there. So that's it right now. I'll be back. Alright, so let me ask you, is it bad that I go to these casinos so often that I have some of the license plate numbers memorized in the parking lot? Because I see the same cars over and over again, and I'm remembering the people's license plates. I guess that's pretty bad. Okay, so I go into this place, and I'm looking around. I see one machine that's in range, and that's it. I make $15 on it, and then this guy comes over who always wants to be buddy. He said he wants to buy me breakfast this morning. I'm like, no thanks, I'm kind of busy. So Maybe maybe another time. I don't know. When am I ever going to have time to have breakfast with somebody? So I said goodbyes to him, and then I went and played some blackjack. Had some decent variance. My low for the session was minus 700. My high for the session was plus 700. Left ahead $700 after about half an hour. Then I was leaving, and this guy's like, "Hey, if you wait until 6 a.m. and you swipe your card, you get $200." I'm like, I don't think I get it. But I did wait, and I did not get it. But in the meantime, I found another play, which is a $50 must hit by, and I ended up hitting the lower $20 must hit by 3 times by the time that $50 paid, and I ended that ahead $36. So the 36 and the 15 is plus 51 on the slots and plus 700 on the blackjack. And I got some chips cash, but I still have a lot of chips, which is okay. And right now I'm moving on to another casino. I have one more blackjack session and 2 more slot sessions today, and just trying to get it all done. I've got 2 hours and 15 minutes till my meeting, and I guess I'll be ready for it. Just have, now that it's light out, I can see what the heck's going on in my car and around me, and I'll be prepared for my meeting. So right now I'm going to hurry over to the other place, the next place actually, and get hopefully 1 session of blackjack in quickly within an hour, and then 1 session of slots before and after, and then we'll head out to the next casino. So letting you go right now, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. I can officially say that I'm starting to get really tired. It is 8:20 a.m. and considering I didn't even take a nap last night, it's probably not a great thing. But I do have a meeting starting in about 25 minutes, so we're not napping now. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to drive. We're going to set up the meeting while we're driving, and then we're going to do the meeting while we're driving. It's a short meeting and should not be a problem. Let me talk about this last place first. I went in and looked at some slots, and really everything I found didn't work well, and I was down about $13 when I went to play some blackjack. I went and played blackjack for a while, and initially had some bad variance, but kind of clawed my way back. And I was only really back there for 30 minutes or so, and ended up leaving at the end of a shoe ahead $562.50. So plus $562.50. Then I went back to the slots, and I was ahead as much as $220, but ended up leaving ahead only $10. So I have no idea where we are. I'll probably add it up later on, but it's really good for the week right now. It was pretty much all positive. I do feel like I did make a mistake in going to the far away places. I should have stayed within a few hours and not wasted time with those other places. I ended up only having 1 session of blackjack in those 3 casinos, and really didn't make that much money on slots either. So if anything, I may have lost money on slots on those. So I mean, it was an adventure, and I got to see new places and go places I've never been before. But I think in the future I'm going to try to stick with a cluster of maybe 4 or 5 casinos within a couple hours of each other, and maybe find a way to get a central hotel somehow. I don't know how. But I also think that I'm no longer going to have free hotel rooms in this area, so that's going to be out. I could probably get them by getting some play on a card and waiting for a while, but it's really not that important to me. Doing the 30-hour thing, I've kind of gotten used to it. The last hour or so driving home is usually a little bit stressful, but overall not too bad. And especially if I'm listening to something that I'm interested in, good content, whatever it might be, I'm going to be more engaged and awake. So yeah, that's all good. So like I said, right now it's after 8 o'clock, and I'm going to let you go. I am going to get my meeting set up and go through the meeting as I'm heading to the next casino, because we're not quitting. We still got stuff to do. So we're moving on to another casino, and that's a little over an hour from my current position, and then I'll come back and update you. Alright guys, I'm back. So I moved on to the next place and walked in there and could tell that someone else was in there, and then I saw a guy ahead of me. I did find one play on a machine that most people don't play, and I ended up losing money on it. So that's the only thing. Actually, I played another one also. I think I lost $1 or $2 on that one, and I ended the session down $39. At this point, I'm still hours from home. I mean, I'm like 4 hours closer to home than I was, 7 hours ago. But still a long way away from home. I think there are some lessons from today and yesterday, this trip. There were some lessons last week and some lessons this week. The lessons from last week were do something with your time. Don't be idle. Rest or be making money. And I feel like I went the wrong way with it this week. Maybe just because of the results, maybe not. But now that I'm looking back at it, I'm seeing a lot of wasted hours driving that I could have been recuperating, sleeping, whatever, during that time. Or if I really wanted to work, I could do work for the office during the middle of the night, so that Thursday, like today is Thursday morning, I've got all kinds of work to do, my office work, and I've got meetings coming up and all kinds of things, so I could do that in the middle of the night. There, I think, are better ways to do things than the way that I've done it. But we're closing in on it, I mean, 3 or 4 months ago, I was doing these really long trips back to back, and now I've decided to choose an area and stay Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday I can go wherever. But I'm already cutting out at least 7 hours of driving, so that's 7 more hours of sleep, 7 more hours of playing, and we've seen a difference in my game overall. Now, sometimes you're going to have down days like I did last week, but we've already recouped from that, and we're setting new highs every week, and that's a pretty amazing thing. And I'm going to be controversial here, and I'm not trying to attack anyone. I'm just giving my point of view, right? And I hear a lot, with Blackjack Apprenticeship, you hear a lot about, it's expected to be hundreds of hours, 500 hours, 600 hours of a downswing. True, that can happen. And I had a couple hundred hours of a downswing a year and a half ago. But that was very unusual, and it's not a normal thing to have hundreds of hours of a downswing. And I feel like lots of times people are scared off by some of that stuff. I know I was very worried when I started, and I heard about people having 300 hours, 400 hours more downturn. But really, if you think about it, it's not really downturn like you imagine in your head, right? When you hear a downturn for 300 hours, in my head, I thought man, for 300 hours, he would go to the casino and lose money. No, that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about all-time high to all-time high. So you could have a $6,000 drop and take you a month to recover, and that time in between all those hours that you're working to recover is what they're talking about. But the way that I've been doing things is legit, for one thing, as far as doing things in a way that I'm not going to get in any kind of trouble. I'm not misrepresenting. I'm doing everything the way that I need to. Now, I may be giving a different name, but how do they know that's not my nickname, right? So, I mean, other than, hey, what's your name? Joe. Other than that, what am I really misrepresenting? I'm gambling. I get upset when I lose, just like everybody else. But anyway, the point I was trying to make was the combination of many things together is what sets me up to have less troughs and more even upswings. So when you look at my chart, it is going to the right and up, and I'm not having huge drops like a lot of people do. Now, a lot of the pros on Blackjack Apprenticeship are playing way bigger than me. Now, if you're playing, 2 hands of 1,000 or 2 hands of 2,000, you're going to have huge downswings, right? And it may take a long time to swing back up because it may be hard to find a place to play at that level. So anyway. Let's do a quick recap here of how it went. Before midnight, I made approximately, I think this is right, but I'm going to say approximately, $3,025. After midnight, between midnight and 9 a.m., let's say, I made $1,532. So that's $4,500, almost, $4,550. Which is my goal for the week, and we were already up about 2,700, so we're definitely moving in the right direction. So it's definitely a success. Tomorrow also is going to be a big day as well. I'm getting all kinds of work messages here, but tomorrow is going to be a big day as well, and going to get some rest, get my work done, get my meetings set up for this afternoon and taken care of. Get ahead of schedule on everything, and then figure out what I'm going to do tomorrow, the timing of everything that I'm going to do tomorrow. So today ended up being a lot nicer day. Around midnight it was about 63 degrees. Right now it's 75 degrees. All the rain is gone. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. There's just a few clouds in the sky, so a lot nicer day. So hang with me, I'll be back. All right, guys. One more thing I wanted to talk about. What did I tip yesterday and today? And yesterday, I tipped a waitress $3 because she got me the larger Fiji waters, and she knows to get me a couple of them. I tipped her $3. And I tipped the guy who changed out my tire for me. I gave him $12, so I consider that a tip. And total, between all the dealers that I had, whatever number that was, 5 or 6 dealers that I had, I tipped a total of $2.50. So, and I'm fine. No one's, on my back about anything. No one's upset with me, and they still like to have conversations with me. They still, want to talk to me and ask me about my life, and I talk about their life and their family and their vacations and things like that. So, you don't always have to buy it. Now, sometimes you don't have a choice, but in my case, so far, it's been good. So, really, that's it. I'm going to head on home. I've been preparing for these meetings in the car here for about half an hour, and I'm just going to continue to work and head on home, and I'll be back with you tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com. mwusa21@gmail.com. See you tomorrow.